She said to meet her here, right?
Yeah, but I don't see her. Maybe we just beat her here. What do you say we wait for a bit?
I am dying. Please stop with this awful cicada noise. I hate it.
So hot. Melting. I'm evaporating in 5 seconds.
Futaba, wait. Let me record it. It'll get so many hits on YouTube.
Perhaps we could find a spot to stay and wait that isn't directly in the sun. Huh? Wait, look at that!
We now bring you breaking news. A shocking turn of events in the political realm. Moments ago, an arrest warrant was issued for legislator Jun Owada. The charges against Mr. Owada span from bribery and tax evasion to...
That's...
A fleet of police vehicles have encircled the Diet members' office building, which is reportedly being searched at this time. We now take you to the investigation team's press conference, live at their headquarters.
We have uncovered evidence that shows Mr. Owada illegally accepted funds from the company Medice. Additional investigations into his numerous other charges are currently underway. Regarding the specific hit-and-run incident 2 years ago, wherein Mr. Owada's secretary claimed to be the culprit, we have learned the true culprit was Mr. Owada himself, driving his own vehicle while under the influence of alcohol. The concealment of this fact involved multiple high-ranking members of the police force, all arrested for conspiracy to conceal evidence. I cannot apologize deeply enough for the flagrant, abysmal disregard for truth and justice from this department. We intend to follow our investigations to the absolute end, not only for justice's sake, but for that of the people and their faith in the police.
Whoa, is this real?
Wait, that Owada? And the police were in on it? Isn't this like a huge deal?
Furthermore, there are claims that Mr. Owada's criminal activity extends well beyond that with Medice, including suspicions that he ordered the murder of his secretary 2 years ago, as well as...
Isn't that... Zenkichi-san did it! He finally got the person he's been after for so long!
Serves her water, right?
Yeah, Gramps pulled it off! That dude really is badass!
The perpetrators finally caught under the light of truth. A job well done.
Looks like he wasn't just trolling us about his skills. No wonder he made such a good part of our team. He's finally avenged his wife. Yep. Just like he promised Akane. Not only was the killer caught, he was the one who collared him. I'm so happy for Zenkichi-san. Hey, been waiting long? Ichinose-san!
Wrapping up the paperwork at the police station took a lot longer than I'd expected.
The police station?
I actually went straight there and turned myself in the moment we finished our conversation.
Hang on, but what you did was... Konoe was the one who abused Emma's power. If you turned yourself in over all that...
Setting Emma loose upon the world like I did would have led to its destruction if not for you all. I know that's true. Not only that, there's no denying I directly hurt you all as well. I thought I should be punished for that, at the very least.
Ichinose!
So, I confessed everything to the police. Big surprise. They didn't believe anything I said.
Well, it's not exactly the easiest story to buy.
I even tried to get Hasegawa-san to help with my confession. He just laughed it off. The police are too busy for fairy tales right now.
That sure sounds like Zenkichi.
Anyway, I originally planned to do this once I was released from jail. But I'm thinking of taking a journey of my own.
A journey, you say?
Yes, a sort of quest to learn about the human heart. I thought Emma really would guide humanity to a better world.
Please take Sophia with you. Get this thing out of my phone.
But once Sophia changed my mind, that was when I noticed something. The eyes of everyone saved by Emma. They just looked cold and dead, like you all. Sophia included. Your eyes were so brimming with hope that it opened my own. Sophia learned about the human heart by joining you on your journey. You shared good times and bad. You were there for each other when you needed it. And you learned to understand each other. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that kind of thing. But I want to speak with other people about the heart when learning this time. Try and really do it right. I just needed to make sure I apologize to Sophia and you all properly before I depart. I truly am so sorry for putting you all through so much pain.
It's in the past.
He's right. It's all been taken care of, and we're not sore over it.
Thank you.
Hey, I have a request of my own.
Yes, go with Ichinose.
Really? What is it? I want to join Ichinose.
Yes, I'm free! Alright, now we just gotta find a way to make the cat have an accident. I'm gonna put some chocolate in his kitty nip, or whatever it is. I've never had a cat before.
Huh? You mean go with her on her journey? You've all done so much for me. You accepted me when I had nowhere to go. You said I was your teammate and friend. You gave me a home. It made me so happy. I constantly felt warm and fuzzy inside. However, everyone now has their own path to the future. Thanks to you all, I've learned so much. I've even found my path to follow. The path I need to take as humanity's companion. I want to be able to lend a helping hand to anyone who strays from their own path. Just like you all do. I want to help people find their way so they can find their happiness. If Ichinose is trying to find her way, then I should be there for her. Just like you were for me. I want to become more like you. So I can be the self that I want to be.
Sophia.
Does that mean we're saying goodbye to you too now, Sophia? I thought she was stuck in there. That's not an issue. Sophia, do you remember the first night we met? That full scan of you in LeBlanc's attic? Well, I've only been able to hammer away at it little by little, but since that day, I've been working on a program to get you out of there.
Dude, for real?
I tried telling you guys a whole bunch of times, but I didn't think it'd wind up being a goodbye gift.
Futaba? Sophia's decided what she wants to do. She's found her path in life.
So we should congratulate her and send her off with a smile. Right, Futaba? Yeah, you're right.
I still could not care less about Sophia.
Are you sure this is what you want, Sophia? They're clearly really going to miss you.
She was coming home with me anyway. They were all saying goodbye to her regardless. Hello?
Yes, it's what I want. But first...
This is such a fake, like, oh, sad moment. She was already leaving everyone except Akira.
I need to hear it from you.
Get lost.
May I go with Ichinose?
Get out! I don't want anything to do with you. Ichinose can take my phone. Of course.
Thanks. Sorry, everyone. I haven't been able to show my appreciation for what you've done for me.
What are you talking about? You know that's not how friends roll.
Yeah, friends and members of the Phantom Thieves.
You'll always be a part of us.
Nothing could sever the bond we forged over such high stakes.
And we'll never forget the great times we had together.
I know you'll be a fantastic companion to Ichinose-san.
Sophia, stay safe out there.
Stay safe. She's in a phone. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, all things considered,
Have fun,
it was a
Sophia.
fun summer
Dad,
vacation.
let's keep at it,
Yeah.
Sophia.
You know you
Stay
can
cool,
call
Sophia.
anytime.
You'll always be a friend to us. Yeah.
Thank you all. I promise, I won't forget you or our time together.
meet again.
Yeah, no matter what.
Okay, no matter what.
Goodbye.
It wasn't until this cutscene that I realized how creepy Sophia's eyes are. Yusuke is almost out of the shot. What a bad picture. Oh, this is probably going to get copywritten on YouTube. Hey, there it is. It took a lot longer to go through those final cutscenes than I thought. Pretty good, pretty good. Not as good as the ending of Persona 5 or Persona 5 The Royal, I would say. I think those endings hit a lot better, both with the beating of the final boss and then the final goodbye moment. They might still have something at the end of the credits, we'll see, but still very good. Still very good. But I know people are going to end up asking, like, what did you like better? Like the ending. Get off my screen! Oh my goodness! Oh, I just had a heart attack. Oh my word. Do not ever do that to me again, game. Oh. That was horrifying. Lone Wolf, your sub came in at the worst time, but thank you so much for subbing for 32 months at tier 3. Greatly appreciated, man. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. But I know people will inevitably end up asking, so like, it was great the way they finished off Demiurge, and also it was a good ending right there. I don't really care about Sophia, and they put a lot of focus on Sophia in that ending there, so you know that's kind of takes away from it a bit for me because I just don't care about Sophia very much as a character. But yeah, not as good as OG Persona 5's ending or Persona 5 The Royal's ending, IMO, but still pretty good. Still pretty good. A good game overall, pretty good. I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. Maybe an 8 out of it. Probably an 8 out of 10 just because I love the characters so much. The characters, like, the Persona 5 cast is just so strong in general, despite how stupid they are, that they probably bump it up to like an 8 out of 10, I would say. Because I just love the Persona 5 cast so much. But, oh, look at that. Fan service. Love it. But, as far as, like, gameplay and everything goes, I feel like this game had a handful of mistakes. Mostly in, like, power scaling. In the early game, it was really annoying. Like, the bosses would last 7 years if you were on hard mode. But if you were on normal mode, the game was just way too easy to blow through, I feel like. I also feel like they made it very difficult to do reviving of your team members in the early game in, like, the first 2 palaces. I think it was during, or jails. I think it was during the 3rd jail, probably was around where you could start buying revival items and you were very likely to get a persona with Recarm or get a Recarm skill card, stuff like that. So, Zenkichi's Awakening, by the way, just because it's on screen, I'm gonna go on a tangent. Zenkichi's Awakening was great. One of the best Awakenings I've seen in Persona. Very good. But, yeah, I feel like and then that was the early game's problem that kind of, like, smoothed out as you got deeper in. I'm gonna go on another tangent. Akira Konoe as a boss fight was fantastic. His design was great. I loved it. Really, really fun boss fight right there. One of my favorites in Persona. That moment right there where he walks out of the wreckage and then Counter-Strike starts playing. Oh, dude. Truly just phenomenal. Incredibly well done. But anyways, so then, like, in the mid-game, the gameplay was, like, kind of consistent. But then, like, as you did all the requests and stuff, as you got into the late game, the game became too easy, even on hard mode, because I feel like the level balancing was just, it was whack. The level balancing just wasn't very good. So, it was still fun overall, and in general, the game was still very good. I still had a really good time. But I feel like they definitely, get that off my screen! Oh, it's so bad! So bad, go away! But, I feel like they could have done a lot better with, like, the level scaling of the game and the difficulty scaling and all that. But that was done a little poorly. But overall, still very enjoyable to play through. Warriors gameplay is great. They did pretty well in converting it to a more Persona-style Warriors gameplay. Very different from the 2 Hyrule Warriors games that I had played. Not very different, but fairly different. Still good. I gotta see if we're gonna have a final cutscene here or not. Oh, I like that! They put a kitty filter on Zenkichi. That was a good picture at the end there. That was nice. Get this cat out of here!
Should be out any second. There!
Under massive scandal, Legislator June has just been taken into police custody after being connected to a hit
It's about time we got going too, huh? So,
So we'll go our separate ways, once more.
it's a little sad. Saying goodbye, I mean.
Come on. It's never goodbye forever. We'll be back in a flash.
Sure will.
Yeah.
What are the odds that all of us, to get to where we're going, had to walk in different directions?
Next time, Phantom Thieves.
Until the next spin-off. Don't interrupt me. Haru was about to walk, like, into a little garden. Like, the way she was going was a dead end. But it wouldn't have been as nice of a final moment. Nice ending. Very nice ending. Still not as good as Persona 5 or the Royal, but still nice. By loading this save file, you'll be able to continue the game just before the Demiurge battle. Alright, it's one of those. It's one of those. I'll take that save. Thank you. Fantastic. I'm going to take a minute to talk about the game just a little bit more as soon as I see where we get put here. Is this just going to put me... Oh, hey, gameplay recording. It's going to put me back in here. Alright, nice. Load up the game. See where this puts us. Oh, gameplay recording blocked again, guys.
I have been awaiting you, Trickster. You have prevailed through many trials. Unfortunately, I have yet another request. Unbeknownst to me, a certain being calling itself a god has been generating distortions. It has grown to become a threat that is sure to stand in our way. A number of malignant entities have taken up residence within jails. These abominations hold such power that they threaten the safety of even this place, where we currently stand. It pains me to ask such a daunting task of you, so close to your decisive battle. But for the sake of preserving peace across all realms, would you defeat the monarchs of the jails once more?
I gotta fight the bosses again? I shouldn't have loaded this up yet. I should have finished talking about the game first. That's my bad. And actually, I'm gonna make that happen. We'll get right back to that. Yeah, let's get started. Load this back up real fast. But I want to finish talking about the game, and then we'll go through that cutscene with Lavenza. But, because that sounds like a neat little post-game thing that I might actually do. But, yeah, to finish talking about the game, like I said, the level scaling was a little whack in the early game. It kind of smoothed out in the mid-game, and then it started getting whack again at the end of the game. Could have been better. Zenkichi is a great addition to the game. He was a great character. I'm gonna click configure, by the way, to, just to make sure that it doesn't start playing the opening cutscene again. But, yeah. Yeah. What was I saying? Anyways, that's all I'm going to say about the gameplay and all that. Otherwise, the gameplay was fun. Once you unlock the master skills, all of the characters became a lot more fluid and more enjoyable to play as. Early on, like when the game first started, I was like, I don't know, this combat doesn't feel that great. But like, once you got the master skills, it really picked up, and I was like, this is how the game is meant to be played. That's why you unlock the master skills so fast, is because, you know, the characters are really meant to have them to be super enjoyable, in my opinion. Zenkichi was a great addition to the game. Really good character, really enjoyed having him. I liked his storyline a good deal. I liked his gameplay as well. He was a really nice addition. He was a funny character. Sophia, I didn't really care for at all. There were only really 2 moments in the game where they really tried to hammer home Sophia being like an interesting character, and that was at the end of the Okinawa jail, which I was just like, that section of the game just seems so weird to me because they, like, had Ryuji go off, I guess because they wanted to have Max Middleman say the F word, which a lot of people in my chat and a lot of people who play were just like, it's such an amazing moment. I couldn't care less that Ryuji dropped an F-bomb. It means nothing to me. But it was really weird to me when that happened that Ryuji was so insanely vocal and shouty out of nowhere. Like, he's normally a loud guy, but it just really, like, him shouting about Sophie so much right there, I was just like, really? Like, do you really feel this connection to Sophie? Because, like, I don't. I don't like it all. This seems really out of nowhere to me. And then they dumped all of the rest of trying to make Sophie an interesting character in the Ichinose part of the jail at the very end, the 7th jail, and I was just like, I'm still really not feeling anything for Sophie and Ichinose. I feel like you kinda, throughout the entire game, you made Sophie such an incredibly, like, bland, like, I am robot, teach me heart. And then, like, every now and then at the end of an area, she'd be like, this thing about emotion I don't understand. Explain emotion, and you're just like, humans are weird. And then Sophia was like, I understand emotion. And that was basically her entire character. So, like, Sophia, I feel like, was kind of a waste of time. Zenkichi was like, I love that. More of that. As far as villains go, I thought that, like, the early monarchs that were kind of, like, just like, hey, this is an enemy for you to fight, they were all pretty good. They had nice connections to the characters they were related to in whatever way. Akira, I thought was really great as a villain. Akira Konoe, I really enjoyed him as a villain. I liked his boss fight. I liked his whole setup. Is it not like the most groundbreaking of all things where it's like everyone else is bad, I'm the hero, there are no heroes. You know, it's not like something super revolutionary, but they did really well with it, and I enjoyed it a lot, mostly because I just loved his boss fight. The design was so fantastic, very good. But definitely enjoyed Akira as a villain. Emma as the final villain was, like, obvious from day one. Ichinose as part of the final villain or penultimate villain was obvious from day one. Ichinose I didn't think was a very good villain. She was just kind of like, hey, look, I'm actually bad at the end, which I saw coming from 5 million miles away. And then Emma was just like, hey, I'm Yaldabaoth, but they changed my design slightly. But it was still fine as a final boss. I mean, you know, that's how Persona games normally go. The final boss is some kind of weird ultimate evil god-like creature. But it was a really nice final boss fight, even though it was basically literally point for point Persona 5's original ending in every way. But yeah, still good. The story was plenty good, you know, classic Persona stuff. It kind of like took from Persona 5 a lot. It was a lot of the same story beats, like the same thing. Like, hey, remember in Persona 5 how we talked about, like, people being bad and, like, trying to change society and not letting people take away your free will? It was all, like, the same stuff. But it was still nice because the original Persona 5 storyline was really good. So, you know, even if you are just straight up copying it, basically, it turns out if you copy something that's good, it won't be as good, but it'll still be pretty good in that sense. Yeah, exactly. Adult bad, politician bad, except first 3 adults. First 3 adults, not so bad, just misunderstood, but still bad. that was the only main difference. But yeah, it was still good. It was a good story. The most important thing for me is that they really captured the original Persona 5 cast as characters for the most part. There were, other than when Ryuji started, like, shouting about Sophie in the 4th jail, there were really no moments in the story that felt like where they missed the mark with any of the main characters. All of them still felt like the characters that I had grown to love and enjoy throughout Persona 5 and Persona 5 The Royal. So just getting more moments with them and more content with them was just fantastic to get to have more of them in general. That was honestly the best part for me, because I just really, truly, Persona 5 The Royal is my 3rd favorite game of all time. Like, the Persona 5 cast are up there as, like, some of my favorite casts in video games, alongside the Xenoblade Chronicles 1 cast, and the Tales of Xillia cast, and then, like, the Tales of the Abyss cast, and the Berseria cast. You know, those are all, like, when I think of, like, hey, what are your favorite, like, groupings of characters in video games? Those are the games I think of. So, that was done just incredibly well, and I love to see that. But, yeah. I don't really think I have anything else to say. I will say the porting of this game was handled abysmally. I understand the pandemic has always been happening. It's been difficult to, like, port the game over, but putting aside the fact that it took way too long for this game to come out, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure part of the reason, I don't know if it was ever confirmed, but a lot of people hypothesized, and I kind of think this is what happened too. They were dubbing the Persona 5 anime, which the Persona 5 anime I haven't watched myself, but I've been told is complete trash and kind of does awfully compared to the game. They were spending a lot of time dubbing that, which is what pushed back dubbing this so much. Really wish they had just focused on this game instead of focusing on the crappy anime that no one wanted dubbed. But, because the anime sucked. But, that was unfortunate it took so long. The main problem with porting this game is that there are no audio controls, which apparently exist on the PC version. That is inexcusable. Inexcusable. Not only that it's on the PC version, but not on the console version, but it's inexcusable that it doesn't, even if it wasn't on the PC version, it should exist on both. It's inexcusable in 2021. I would say it's been inexcusable since, like, 2016, 2015. It has been inexcusable to release a game that involves character dialogue and not have different volume sliders for, like, the background music, the story, like, the sound effect music, and the character voice music. Because the sound balancing in this game it's just a joke. It's absolutely terrible. I have no idea how anyone could ever, like, do the sound mixing in this game and think it was okay. Absolutely just inexcusable. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Overall, Persona 5 Strikers was a very good time. I'm very glad it existed. I'm very glad I got to play it. And I'm very glad that all of you watched and enjoyed it with me, hopefully. But yeah, I think I am going to try and do whatever this post-game thing is. I don't know what's up with that, but we're going to see. I know chat said I can fight the Reaper in the post-game when I asked them. So maybe we'll see about that as well and see what Lavenz is on about. But if there's like a cool little post-game thing that would take a couple of hours that I could do, I'm going to do it. So there will still be some more videos after this one, more than likely. But I know some people, when the main story ends, they're just like, they check out. That's all for them. But yeah, for all of you who watched, thank you so much. I truly enjoyed this playthrough, and I hope you did as well. Thank you so much for joining me for this journey, and hopefully you will also join me for the post-game and any future Persona playthroughs I do, whether I go back and redo some old playthroughs or NG Plus them, or if I just do some other spin-off games that I haven't played yet, like the dancing games or the Q games. But yeah, other than that, I believe that's all. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in future playthroughs. And for the remaining videos of doing the post-game of Strikers. Until then, farewell.